What's going on, guys? KEVINCAGE here with another crypto update. I hope everybody's doing well out there, and today is going to be our monthly iTrustCapital video. So before we dive into all the updates, I just want to say a huge thank you to iTrust for continuing to support the channel. They're my only channel sponsor right now, and honestly, they are one of the few that I trust. No pun intended, maybe pun intended. So it's been great to see them become a $1 billion company and actually doing it the right way in the crypto space, which we know can be rare.
We're the biggest, and we'll have what 12, 15 billion on our platform end of this year. There's 13 trillion in IRAs alone, 13 trillion in investable assets, and we're the biggest, and we have a fraction of that. And there's a lot of discussion out there. Even today, Senator Loomis mentioned every American should buy Bitcoin, I'm summarizing, for their retirement and hold it. It's not my recommendation, obviously, but senators,
the U.S. government, it's got to be
U.S. government, right? Can't go wrong. So there are people feeling a lot more comfortable with this new framework that was discussed in a public forum at the White House. And now people feel comfortable. You're going to see large institutions saying, yes, Mr. or Mrs. Jones, I could see us being comfortable with 1, 3, 5, or 7% allocation. Our clients, just anecdotally speaking, I think they have about 10 to 15% of their portfolio exposed to digital assets. Again, that's all self-directed on them. They decide. But the market is massive. I mean, we have a fraction of it. If just the IRAs alone put 5% of their portfolios into Bitcoin only, right? It's the 15-year-old most stable asset, never been hacked, no issuer, $2 trillion market cap. Well, maybe it's down a little bit today, and long track record, right? So even if they just did that, it's 700 billion in assets that will flow into digital in the digital arena over the next, 5 to 10 year time frame.
And this will be linked right in the top of the YouTube video description, or you can visit iTrustCapital.com directly. So I've had a Roth IRA with them for over 5 years now, for tax-free growth in the crypto space. And if you're in the US and you're looking to diversify long-term tax-free, iTrustCapital is easily the best crypto retirement platform out there. Alright, so let's get into it, and we're going to shift gears and go over a few key headlines from the last few weeks for real policy momentum in the US. Alright, first up, if you guys haven't seen this, over the past 4 days, we had directly from the US Director of Federal Housing dropping this information. We can see right here on June 25th that he put out a public order telling Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to start preparing to count crypto assets as an asset for mortgage applications. And this is a massive shift if this moves forward, and this is demonstrating how fast things can happen with crypto being integrated into legacy finance. And along with that, we also had this take place this month. We had the US Senate officially passing the Genius Act, which is a crypto stablecoin bill. And this is a huge step forward for regulatory clarity around stablecoins on a federal level, as we can see here. And again, stablecoins make up a huge chunk of daily crypto volume. And with the Genius Act being passed by the US Senate, this is sending a clear message that the crypto asset class is becoming part of the United States financial system. And for this month, we have iTrustCapital adding a few more assets. So we have Marinade Finance, we have Peanut the Squirrel, and we also have ZK Sync or ZK. And we know that ZK is the token that essentially powers the blockchain for ZK Sync Era, and on RWA.xyz, right below Ethereum, it is ranked number 2 on the RWA League table for tokenized real-world assets. And I believe the ZK token is the native token on ZK Sync Era, the actual blockchain network, and to my knowledge, it's a governance token, so it's used for delegating voting power. I'm just not 100% sure if it's used for transaction fees yet. But please go check, and always do your own research, guys. None of this is ever financial advice. But it's really cool to see the actual protocol value or total real-world assets on-chain on top of this blockchain network. So we have Securitize, Signum Bank, and Circle. And we also had this come out 2 days ago, so a new US blockchain legislation, HR 1664. So the House of Representatives passed the Deploying American Blockchain Act of 2025. So the US House has already passed this, and now this is headed over to the Senate. And this legislation, or this act, is a big federal push to boost blockchain development in the United States, so it's all about strategy and support through the Department of Commerce. So overall, promoting blockchain technology. And just like it's called Deploying American Blockchains Act of 2025, I would love to see more blockchains being deployed. And we have so much going on in today's space. We even have right here the New York Stock Exchange tweaking rules to list Trump Media's Bitcoin Ethereum ETF. So the New York Stock Exchange has filed for a rule change to list the Truth Social Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF proposed by Trump Media and Technology Group. And if approved, the ETF or exchange-traded fund would hold Bitcoin and Ethereum in a 75-25 ratio, with Crypto.com as the custodian and liquidity provider. Let's talk about security for a second because we have to mention the largest data breach in history. So this happened this month between Apple, Google, Facebook, and Telegram with 6 billion login credentials that were leaked. Now, I don't know if this is the largest data breach in history like they say, but I think it's safe to say that this is definitely one of the biggest data leaks. With over 6 billion login credentials exposed, 6 billion, I mean, when we look at today's current world population, over 8.2 billion people, 6 billion, that's crazy. And I know this data breach doesn't mean it is 6 billion individual people because people can have multiple login credentials, but that's a huge number. And I know we all remember 2022, thank God that this didn't happen in the crypto space because everybody would be pointing towards crypto and saying it's crypto's fault. And this is exactly why iTrustCapital has built these PCA accounts or premium custody accounts with a closed loop system to make sure that your crypto assets can never be transferred outside of your account without proper authorization. And this is enterprise grade security with assets remaining in cold storage with MPC. We have institutional custody. We already know that they leverage a qualified custodian, and two of their largest institutional providers are Coinbase Prime and Fidelity Digital Assets. And they're a US-based company with 5-star live client service, so you're not going to be speaking with some AI chatbot, you're going to be speaking to a real person. With 24/7 crypto access, a closed-loop system, as I already mentioned, and low fees. So be sure to check out these PCAs or premium custody accounts available on iTrustCapital.com. They have videos to show you exactly what it is. We can see a comparison of premium custody versus holding your assets on an exchange or even just in cold storage. And just like the fees for Fidelity that we've gone over in a previous video, remember that Fidelity is also $0 per month, but they charge a 1% spread, so that's how they make their money if you are buying and selling. The difference is, for a Fidelity Roth IRA, I mean, you have a few options. I believe you have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, but iTrustCapital has access to over 75 different assets. And if you guys haven't seen this, this is a new strategic partnership between iTrustCapital and Next Generation Trust companies. So Next Generation Trust has been around since 2004. And these guys are a traditional custodian for investors. We have financial professionals and people in real estate. And now they're plugged into iTrustCapital to allow their clients 24/7 access to crypto assets, right inside of IRAs or individual retirement accounts and other tax-advantaged accounts, so super cool. And if you really think about it, on a monthly basis, we are seeing crazy developments in this space for crypto to go mainstream, especially for crypto retirement. We already covered this before, but we know that last month, the Department of Labor rescinded their previous 2022 guidance on crypto assets, really getting in line with the new Trump administration and being a lot more open to crypto. And other than that, I also wanted to wish XRP a happy birthday for this month because on June 2nd, 13 years ago in 2012, that was the day that Arthur Brito submitted the code and created XRP. So to wrap up today's video, I know we went over a bunch. We had several new projects or coins added to iTrustCapital. We had a big security upgrade going over the premium custody accounts or the PCAs. Related to crypto news and just policy momentum, we had the stablecoin bill passed. We have crypto might soon be counted for mortgages. And so many other things, including the Next Gen partnership. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. We have iTrustCapital linked right in the top of the YouTube video description, and I will catch you in the next one.